Cherie Hanson here. As I was making human soup today, my 10-minute ice bath that I start most days with, what came to me was a term that I felt like was a very good term to, untangle, to pull the threads apart so we can see each aspect of what the term means. And it was the approach avoidance issue. It's interesting to really think about that, to really isolate it in your thoughts and your focus, to find out what it means. What it means in terms of human behavior is that if you're in full approach avoidance, you're in paralysis. Your reasons for doing something and your reasons for not doing that activity are equal. They're equal forces, and they don't allow for any movement at all. Now, where does that come from, I wondered? Where does the approach impulse come from? Well, when it's examined by behavioral scientists, they find that if the choice you're making is more typical, and it's what they call a more primed decision, then it's easier for you to make the decision. Primed decisions are made by having an exterior source. In other words, all people my age go to the bingo hall. I was thinking that as I was driving down the street the other day. I thought, oh my God, there's a bingo hall. I wonder when the car is just going to automatically drive itself into the parking lot. How can I tell what cohort I belong to if I'm not attracted to bingo, or if I'm not attracted to video games? I'm just like out in deep space. It's black and I'm floating and I can't see any planets. So these are the things that we base our decisions on if we're not looking at them mindfully. Sorry, my throat's being funny today. So if it's normal to do this thing based on the criteria, so I'm a female, I'm 80, I'm white, I'm, middle class, I'm educated. So in that way, these decisions are made for me already because my cohort does this. So that is coming from outside. That's coming from the primed or pressure from the outside of you, the things that you're seeing that make you feel safe, that make you feel included, that make you feel part of the tribe, the group, the cult, whatever you want to call it. So there are different types of decisions and reactions, talking with sociological leveling. Leveling is a good term for it. Approach. In other words, I see a bingo parlor and I have accepted that bingo is something that I should be doing based on my age and my skin color and my past history and all the rest of it. So there's no conflict there. Some of the other things, well, go to a party, go to a cocktail party, go to a fundraiser party that costs $250 for a ticket and $1,200 for the outfit that you wear. Well, I'm primed for that. So there's no problem. It's just approach. And then there's avoidance. So, I see a beautiful ink drawing, and I think that would make a fantastic tattoo. And then I think tattoo, and I go, no, it's a no. I'm not drawn to a tattoo. And basically, my avoidance is usually based on the decades I've lived through. So it's like going to different countries, a different decade, or a different planet, a different continent. Yes, there were tattoos on people when I was growing up, but they were signals that there was a hidden knife somewhere on their person and that they were dangerous and you didn't want to be around them, or that they were returning servicemen who had some percentage of crazy still left in them. So this, for me, and in my mindset, a tattoo signals to the outside world that I am not to be trusted. And that's what it comes down to. So it's avoidance for me. And then you have approach avoidance. You have this feeling, and this is something I'm going through a lot lately. My old habits of caution, of triple thinking everything, of not taking action until I'm clear of where that's going to go. Most of the decisions that I have made in my life are based on maintaining my security in the world until I get fed up with myself, and then I just act out. I'm going to Europe for 30 days. I don't know why. It's kind of like I keep part of myself prisoner, locked in the basement in the dark, and then every once in a while, I just can't take it anymore. So approach avoidance is this situation where I would really like to put my writing and the way I use words and my teaching out into the world. It makes my heart happy. I feel like it's my calling. But the avoidance part of it is, oh God, what if I get rejected? What if my writing isn't published? What if people take me the wrong way? What if it will cause others to see exactly how strange I am? We don't want that to happen. No, I'm a nice middle-class woman. There's nothing strange about me. And then we get to, you want to talk about all-out warfare? You want to talk about the Civil War, when brothers were trying to kill one another, or fathers and sons, or cousins? Then you're into the double approach avoidance. You are avoiding it as if your life depends on avoiding it, and you are also desiring it as if you will die if you don't get it. That's the story there. So it's really interesting in our own lives to understand how this works in terms of human behavior, how the anthropologists look at it, the cultural anthropologists look at it, people who, feel stuck and they're not understanding why they're stuck. Sometimes what we do when things aren't moving and we're stuck and we're in a state of paralysis is we'll will blame the outside world. Like, yeah, I could be famous by now if the outside world were just better. And I think the Golden Globes really meant a lot to me because I was seeing movies that took 8 years to make, 7 years to make, 5.5 years to make. And it was like setting out on a sea voyage, in with the tall white sails full of wind and then hitting a rock and everybody has to get out and row back to shore. And when I was watching the awards, I was thinking about how this clear approach feeling, this knowing that the thing that you want for yourself is there. It may look like you're not going to get there, but you don't walk away. And what I came up with as I'm watching it, and I'm sitting there by myself, well, Todd was there. He wasn't as interested as I was, is no excuses. No excuses. There's no excuse for you not becoming healthy. There's no excuse for you to be in a place where you have, no success in your life. And I'm sorry, I'll just put that note in about not becoming healthy. I'm not unsympathetic to people who have chronic diseases. That's hell on earth. And all I can offer you is empathy and sympathy. But there are people who have lesser problems that can be simply changed with a change of behavior. So we're in a place, back to the thing I'm always talking about to the clients that I am coaching, inside, outside. The outside world is beyond strange right now. We don't even know what genre it is anymore. It's like watching a Monty Python horror chainsaw, sci-fi, historical. It's just so messed up in any particular time. You can't even name what the genre is that we're in. Is this a joke? Is what we keep saying to ourselves. Are you kidding me? And so we have to take our focus inside and we have to ask the question, if I spend all of my time arguing with myself, if I'm in a state of approach avoidance, what is it I'm so afraid of? What is it that is stopping me from becoming the person that has more joy, more growth, more ability to just play? And so that's what we come down to. When we're in a state of approach avoidance, we need to, as I always say, sit down and do an interview with yourself. Hey, self, what the hell is going on right now? Where's this coming from? So focus inside. No, it is a crazy time. It's kind of like you're walking on a path and there's a tsunami and it hits you and knocks you over. And next thing you know, there's an iceberg that comes and mows you down and then it melts. And the next thing that you know, there's lava. It's just like, can the horror at least be consistent? No, it can't. Because that's where we are right now. So what is consistent is what your heart wants. What is consistent is your very clear understanding of who you are becoming. And that's inside work. I just want to say thank you so much. Subscribe. I want to get these hard-earned lessons that I have incorporated into my reality that help people. The goal is I want to get you there faster with less suffering than I went through. I want to get you into a place of light and optimism and joy much more quickly than I did. And thank you for subscribing. Thank you to those people who are leaving sweet messages, thumbs up, move it up in the magical world of whatever that is. And get a hold of me if you would like a life coach reading. I have the ability to see your energy. I have the ability to connect with your guides and hear what direction they're trying to talk to you. I'm kind of like an interpreter at the UN. You know, your guides are back there and they're going like, can you tell her in her language or tell him in his language this message? Because they're not hearing it. And as always, I end my videos from the depths of my emotional ability. I appreciate you.